And good evening, everybody. My name is DeCarlo Sweeting, and my co host for the day is
George Misick.
Mr. Missick. How are you?
I'm wonderful.
That's good. That's good.
I am wonderful. Better the night after the Lakers get win.
Anyway, we can talk about that later. I know if you want to talk about that. We can talk about that later. You ain't got to worry about that. But I'd like to thank everybody for watching. What's going on? What's going on is your local podcast that talks about local events, politics, religion. Boy, we talk about any and everything. So we just talk about what's going on. So I'd like to thank you all, and please don't forget to subscribe and like the show. And George, let's get started. Let's find out what's in the news.
Audio Jungle.
Okay, in the news today, one thing I like to do is start off the show with good news, George. And apparently, we done had the first Bohemian that in outer space. So, hey, talk that. All them Czechoslovakia and Jamaica, we beat them there. They ain't get there before us. So, all them Caribbean people, thank you. We first. We beat them. Miss Aisha,
Okay.
Aisha Boo, went into space with they had a lot of ladies that went into space. Gail, Oprah friend, all kind of ladies. But we can focus on her. I like to talk about her. First Bohemian out in space.
Not Katy Perry.
Huh?
Not Katy Perry.
I don't talk about no Katy Perry. Katy Perry, no. We talking about Bohemians. Yeah. The only Perry I know, you remember Miss Perry from Walter Parker, the
Yeah,
principal.
yeah, yeah.
That's the only Perry I know about. So I ain't into no Katy Perry or nothing like that. Let's stay focused now. Let's stay on the matter at hand. Aisha
Mhm.
Bo. What you think about that, George? What you think about the first Bohemian out in outer space?
Uh, from a nationalistic perspective or from you?
Nationalistic. This good news now.
uh,
Bring a rain on our parade.
okay. All right. So let's get this out of the way. Congratulations. I'm all for bigging up any Bahamians, anything good that Bahamians do. I'm all for it. I like the fact that out of all of those that went on this little ride, this little short trip somewhere, um, she she was the rocket science. She was the rocket scientist in the group. We have that popular saying, you don't have to be a rocket scientist. Well, apparently, she was actually a rocket scientist. So kudos to
Yes.
her. Seemed to be a very smart, intelligent woman, and you know,
Yes.
if it was a real space mission, I think she would be someone who would be fitting to be there. Out of all those other kind of rich, I guess, entitled people who was there just for a little joyride. So I think she actually worked herself to a point where she was able to take that trip. Um, Being someone in that field, I'm sure was very exciting and something that probably a dream come true for her. Now, having gotten that out of the way, I, 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 I'm sorry, I'm not a big fan of these trips to space where you go to the bathroom, wash your hands, you come back, and they say, "Oh, we back." Hold on, you all back? You mean I, they get back faster than take me to throw out my garbage and get back in the house? You tell me you've been to space and you come back, and so I mean, it's good to me. It's a big, like a parachute up in the sky and back down. Like I, I don't. My wife always tell me I like to downgrade people achievements. I really ain't trying to do that, but I something a little off with me. And if it wasn't a Bahamian on it, I'd say more on the trip. But I don't like these trips where it said people being up in space and experience a few minutes of weightlessness. You might as well go to one of those centers and they'll weight thing them and spend half an hour and enjoy yourself.
No,
But
no, no. You can't do
but
that. You got to go and get. You got to go up and you got to see the curvature of the Earth and all those things. Else you ain't being out in space.
right,
That's what it's all
right.
about.
Right. You think they saw that? I hear they pass some line. The test is you pass some invisible line. You get high enough, and they say they've been in space and come back down. I don't know. I mean, those people who was up stuck up there for 9 months. Yeah. I mean, yeah, that sounds a little impressive. I see them in the spaceship flipping around and doing stuff. And astronauts, right? Like these people aren't astronauts. Like someone said. I mean, they go to up in the sky for come back say they astronaut. Y'all was an astronaut. Y'all passengers. Y'all, y'all like I
Yeah,
say, other than the Bahamian rocket scientists, I must add. So yeah, that's supposed to be a celebration of Aisha Bo. So again, congratulations to Aisha Bo, on this achievement. It like I said, I'm sure for her it was a dream come true. I don't know, I don't know. I don't like trips to nowhere. I just don't
you was
like to
out in
go.
space. That's somewhere.
Well, I mean, they say they was out in space, but I mean, to the cynic, you being up, I was flying the other day, went to the UK, and I was pretty high up in the sky. I felt like I was
Uh,
in
You, you,
space.
you,
I mean,
you
you know
didn't
any
you didn't
different?
achieve weightlessness. You didn't get to see the curvature of the Earth. So that don't
Yep.
count. That's two different things.
Right, right, right. Okay.
And
All right.
I ain't gonna let you
But
read on Aisha and this the Bahamas time to shine because that other space thing we got going on in the Bahamas, we ain't even need to talk about. That's a bunch of foolishness.
yeah.
So this the space stuff we want to talk about. This the good stuff. So this would be working with Aisha
But
Boat.
sorry, I digress. I digress a bit. But what's with all these billionaires, these richest men with these space programs? Like, what's the fascination? You get rich enough, you need
The
to have a space
fascination is
company.
money. You know how much it
Bezos has
costs to
one.
do that?
Elon Musk has one.
Yeah. They trying the first one to be a trillionaire. That's what they trying to do.
Oh, okay,
Elon
okay.
Musk didn't
Well,
get the American contract, so now he's straight. So he trying if Donald Trump didn't tank the economy, he wouldn't have to worry. But Tesla right now, he losing all kind of money there, but he getting some money on the other side. So
mm,
and Bezos realized, hold on, there's money in this. You know how much millionaires in the world who say they wouldn't mind spending on $4 or $5 million to go up into space, and that's a short trip.
well, hey, if I could give people rides for charge them 20 million or whatever for
That's
11
right.
minutes, I
Hmm.
know. I know how much it costs to get there, but it can't be much. Just can't. I like it's just amazing. And I hope Aisha Bo didn't spend that type of money, but
No, I think
but
all of them was sponsored by somebody because it
well,
to give
Bezos
people
woman
money
was
from
sponsored by
CBS.
Bezos. I don't know sponsored by who. Like,
Yeah, somebody
um,
sponsored it.
the black people didn't pay for it. Right? We
I
ain't
know
paying that much money.
we ain't paying. I get upset when I go from Freeport to West Palm. I know now that's a short trip. I say, hold on, somebody owe me some money. I could have walked this.
Boy, boy. But
Yeah,
hey,
but
like I said, they need to explain this trip a little bit more to me. I remember when Michael Strahan did it as well, and I'm like, dude, where you been? I literally gone out front, come back to man, say he back, but
you
like
missed it.
it just wasn't getting like I didn't know it was that short, right?
Space
Like
ain't far, you
seriously,
know. That right around the
huh?
corner. Space ain't far.
Apparently not. I mean, apparently not. Like I don't know. It seems like it take my plane like when you go into the state. Don't seem like it take at least but 10, 11 minutes to get up the peak before the plane level off.
Yeah, but they're
So
using the type of materials, the rocket boosters, and all these things that Jeff Bezos them
okay,
using. So therefore, you can't
okay,
trust that. You can't go with that. Now, if you go
okay,
with that
okay.
to Miami, you can be in Miami in 2 minutes.
And they had a plane full of women, and that's the only time I see women so excited for something so short, so something lasts only a little bit of time. Anyway, I don't know. They're lying to us, boy.
Ah!
I I don't hear it no more.
Anyway, I gotta take a commercial break on that one. We can be right back.
Where you going, buddy?
To go buy these tickets for the party tonight.
Why this boy so dumb? Tickets242.com. You know how hard it is? They sell tickets for parties, concerts, plays, sporting events, everything. You know how expensive bus is? Well, if you just buy the tickets online, they could just send you it in the email. Then you could just print it off. You know how strong mosquitoes is? Or you could go to the box office downtown or the Genesis Street Girl. You ain't scared of Joneses either.
And we're back. Got some sad news for you, George. Pope Francis has
Mm.
passed away. Um, which pope this is? Because they had a lot. Nah, I know which one. I was just telling Tasma, the only pope I can remember, Pope John Paul. That was the one I grew
John
up
Paul,
with. And
that's our pope.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
my pope. And
Yeah.
I could
That's
I
almost like Queen Elizabeth. It just seems like it's been a revolving door. Like it seems like every couple of years. I mean, they don't pick them unless they're about 85. It seems.
I trying to
I
figure
don't know.
out that why this age discrimination thing with popes. Why you got to be 100 and 1 foot in the grave and 1 foot on the banana peel to get this job?
Yeah,
I don't understand.
yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I really, it almost like how we pick our governor generals, but I mean we've been knowing a little bit better, but and yeah, no, you know, like someone say, old people don't get better. At a certain point, these people don't get better; they die. Like he was sick, and from I heard, pneumonia and whatnot, and the man his age and whatnot. I'm like, you know, only a matter of time. So
Yep.
when this thing came this weekend, everyone, oh my God, I'm so shocked. And so, really? Like, I didn't bat an eye when they said it. I mean, obviously, sad someone died, but to me, that there was preparation. Like,
Yep.
they should have been planning the funeral almost, because, and then they showed when he went out there for the service, you could see that the dude, he was
That
literally
that
very
was
very sick,
inhumane.
and
Why did
yeah,
they let that?
almost when I I would say that too, but I take it he must have insisted that he go out there for this last one time to do this. Like I think he knew, he must have known this it. This Easter Sunday, let me go out with a bang, let me go show my face, tell a wave goodbye to the people, because that's literally all he did,
That's all he could
right?
have do.
And yeah, so yeah, I mean, yeah, the for I don't know. I mean, I know about the Roman Catholic Church, and I I know what the Pope represents, and it means a lot to a lot of people. But I don't know this time around too, and I guess I guess because it's not been that long ago since we went through this with another Pope. But to me, I'm like, man, I had to cut my TV off at one point. Like, this is just too much. Like, nobody gets shoot or stabbed today. Like, it's, I'm, I'm sorry if that sounds
Yeah,
insensitive,
that very
and it
very
sounds like
insensitive. Very insensitive,
I'm
George.
sorry, I apologize, but he sounds like a really he was a really good pope. Seemed to be a very humble person. They talk about his views. He was very involved, outspoken. Some of them in the past been very quiet, not really wanting to get into issues of politics and all that. He seemed
Yeah,
like he did. I saw him bowing to some African leaders' feet. Never seen that before, right? So white man bowing down to some black men' feet. That ain't really something you see. But so he really seemed like the people's, what they say, the people's pope. Like he was a really humble person, and see, to be that old and mean that much to so much people, and that's what it represents. It is it's good to see, and I like when people live that type of life, that it can be an inspiration for others. I think he was Argentinian. He came from, which was unique itself.
yeah.
So it'd be interesting. I was hoping we get a Bahamian Pope.
George, right now, settle for a black one. That's all I want to see now. I need a black pope.
but but boy, that I've been watching the TV for about 2 days now, and I ain't see much of them.
I see one or two would
One,
sneak in. I think we can
yeah,
have, if we get a black pope, we can have praise and worship. So I think
boy,
it ought to be a good thing for the Catholic them now. Get some praise and worship into the Catholic diocese and
yeah, yeah, yeah,
start
yeah.
making it, you gotta make it a little funky. You gotta put some on it.
No, no, I don't know. I just don't want to see Kirk Franklin and them in the Catholic Church.
Oh, hallelujah. How you get there?
I ain't up with all of that. I'm with you on that. I'm not ready for that. I don't think the world ready for that yet. Let's take some baby steps here. And
Lord have mercy. How you get to Kirk Franklin? How you get to Kirk Franklin? That was no, I said
well,
praise and worship. I know
boy,
nowhere near. How you get there?
boy, when you open that door, I don't know. I don't trust you all these days, man. You give you all an inch, you take a mile. So
Anyway, I know what you're talking about. So let's take a break. Let's come back and let's clear this up. Then we can come back with something new because I know no Kirk Franklin. What this boy talking about?
Yo, what's up, Bahamas? My name is Andrew Williams, aka Cat,
And I'm your boy Mix.
and we're representing Off the Bench, the number one talk sportcast in the Bahamas.
In the world, my boy.
My bad partner. So
Yeah.
we cover anything sports throughout the Bahamas. We cover our Bahamian athletes wherever they are, and they're making waves in sports. We cover them.
Hey, just tune in. That's every Wednesday here on Superior Talk at 6 o'clock p.m. Sharp.
The number one talk show
In the world.
in the world.
In the world, Craig.
And we're back. Let's talk some politics, George. Since you've been
yes,
away
sir.
and come back, we had a lot of foolishness going on, all kind of things going on. First of all, Hiram Lewis say gone. So long, bye bye to the F&M and hello
Mm,
to the COI.
mm.
Now, this is an interesting move. And when I say it's an interesting move, I say it because, boy, man, ain't nobody want you. When you think ain't nobody else want you, F&M talk that. Now, I ain't saying you get the best girl since that girl ain't want you, but somebody want you.
Boy,
She ain't the prettiest. She ain't got the best shape. She ain't got the best personality, but she wants you. And that's
what if
all.
she desperate? What if she desperate? She can't find no other man. So
Well, my auntie tell me every pot got a cover. So he with the COI now. What
oh
difference
boy,
does this make for Hiram Lewis and the COI in the upcoming election, Judge? What say ye?
what
What difference does Hiram Lewis, what impact does
Oh,
Hiram
okay,
Lewis joining the COI have on the upcoming elections?
none.
He mean none. This man done been in that seat for what, 2 terms? 2 consecutive terms. And he ain't got
Yeah,
no, as bad as the F&M, thing of them carry on,
yeah.
how you mean no impact, none.
No, I mean, oh, they haven't really miss him. Like I mean, they was he. I mean, he didn't throw the mace out the window or nothing. Like
What is with you in this maze of the bit? That in, that don't mean nothing.
I mean, I don't know that he was in high demand or anything like that, but for the COI it made something, right? But for the rest, I don't know that if Chef's it wasn't a powerhouse in the F&M. Not that they have much or any really in there, but I don't know how much it means other than they have a seat now. But I don't know that he has inspired a group of voters or a number of people to move over a shift that will give them. I think it galvanizes the COI base, their own voters, but I think at the end of the day, they still won't win any seats, including that one, Bach. And I think you will see again when it comes time to go to the polls, the majority of people will vote F&M and PLP. And so although, and it's sad, I think it's a damning reflection on the F&M because how the hell you only got a handful of voters, seats in the House, probably about 6 or 7, and you losing people. You're in the government, you ain't got nothing on the table. Like how do you lose a member of the opposition like that, right?
Well,
Um,
like they were saying, they wasn't going to run him anyway. And
mhm,
because he got wind of it, they said that his first stop was to the PLP. The PLP
mhm.
look at him and say, boy, what
The
we can't do
PLP,
nothing.
they
We
got a
can't
full
do
slate over there. They ain't got no space, man.
nothing.
They
You
ain't,
know, room at the end.
yeah,
We full. And then I hear he
yeah,
come demanding he want minister post. He ain't just want come in the house. He want the big chair. Then he want them serve him the big piece of chicken. No, no,
yeah,
no,
yeah,
no,
yeah,
no, no.
yeah.
That don't work like that. I don't know where he get that
Yeah,
from.
the
But
PLP got dozens of Iron Lewis's in there. Like, you
exactly.
ain't no superstar. So.
So they roll
So
him out. So after they roll him out, you gotta go, you gotta look for shelter anywhere, George. You need shelter. And the COI say, come along. We got room for you. Plenty room here. Pick whatever room you want. Pick whatever way you want to stay. We got room for you. And now,
I know.
believe it or not, they are now the first third party. They legit now because they got a member of parliament in the house.
Yeah,
They couldn't do that. So I you can't sleep on them like that and say they ain't this and they ain't that because they're the first said to do it. So now they
yeah.
got a representative in the House of Assembly that they can make some noise and they can stir up some things. What do you say?
Well, like you said, that would have meant something if they actually had a by-election or something and won the seat. But like you said, that's just a matter of luck and nobody else wanted you, right? Like you
My
couldn't go.
Lord.
Right? The F&M was trying to get rid of you. Like so you get the leftover, you get the girl that nobody won at the dance, like you say.
Oh
And
man.
it's always a bad thing where you have this is the second time I think in office. If you have a young and he's a young man, right?
Yeah.
Relatively young man. If you have a young person, um, who has won a seat consecutively, popular enough to do that, and you decide we're not going to run him again. I can see you not running some of these older ministers or someone who may have been caught up in some corruption or whatever, but I haven't heard him got caught. So what exactly? I mean, I heard a part of his interview, like when you sit trying to figure out what exactly is his sin, and I don't really like this. I must say I really don't like this version of the F&M leadership that is getting rid of people, particularly a sitting member. I can see you trying to get rid of some of these dudes who won't come back and run, who lost last time, right? Yeah, roll them out. You had your time. You've been there twice. You lose. We giving some new people, but this person who you only have a handful there now. So this is one of your more experienced people. Even if you're in the government, you will have some people who more experienced inside the house to teach the younger persons who more senior inside your party. So I don't like this tit for tat. It seems more like a lot of personal things going on. There's a lot of personalities clashes, and it just seems like leadership just saying that's being a little bit petty to me, and saying like,
Can you really say that? Because okay, I know if I come in a place and I hear George don't like me, George pulling against me, George
mhm,
sipping against me. George, everything cool, but you ain't no team player. You trying to establish your own team to go against my team, and only is one team. We can't have that. So I got to
hello,
deal. I got to clear shop because guess what? I want you to remember now when Ingram took over the F&M, Tennyson Wells, them all of them were making noise. All them old F&M who was there because they
yeah,
thought they could have been leader, but they was too
yeah,
sorry. How they figured they could have been leader and nobody to want them. All of
yeah.
Maurice Moore them being there from I know whatever. I don't know if he wanted to be or not, but nobody that wanted to be leader or could have been leader. They try out Tommy. Oh Lord, poor Tommy T. Oh Lord, my Lord. But anyway, that was just garbage. So now Ingram had to come and take over. And when Ingram take over, he roll out all of them. He ain't leave
Mhm.
nothing. He make sure they was never to be seen again or heard again in Ingram. So
Yeah,
I'm saying this on behalf of Mr. Pintard. He got to do the same thing. And we can
no,
roll on a little bit more with medicine a little bit, but you can't have these people stowing away on your ship who trying to sink it. That's how I.
hello, hello. So that's my problem with that. Like the Ingram was the F and M. Ingram was the one who came. You remember how much? Remember his smaller, much cut up the F and M is take from Benton them area until Ingram come. We had Kendall Isaacs and
Was that
Whitfield.
really Ingram or was that good timing?
No,
You, you, ah,
this was a bit of both, but it was
okay,
really
okay.
it was a lot of Ingram because truth be told, Kendall Isaacs was still there for the job, right? Like
Yeah, but
he
if
wasn't.
if Cecil Wallace was still there, I think they would have been.
No, I think Sasso could have pulled it. I think Sasso was a better leader for
Okay.
the thing, but but Penland was just too strong. Penland was Penland back then, right?
Yeah.
But as Penland get a little older, but Ingram to get them over the line. So when Ingram come and fire, like you said, the second go round, he was already prime minister. He had already proven himself, right? Pindar ain't proved nothing yet. Pindar get this leadership based again, but this big landslide cut up the F and M get. Minnesota, it wasn't much to choose from, right? So, and if the F&M is supposed to be these parties need to decide. I can see a prime minister or a sitting prime minister deciding when he go back to the polls, I don't want this one runner. But you ain't no prime minister yet. You're in opposition, right? That's what I thought all y'all stalwart councillors and y'all party meetings and stuff for. Everybody's supposed to be able to go there, put your nomination in and run for your seat. Now I could hear them say we won't just anoint you. You have to contest the seat. You have to go run against whoever, DeCarlo or whoever for the seat. Some other people want the seat. We ain't just giving this to you, right? And the people want you, let it be. But to just tell somebody who is a sitting member who already proved themselves twice, the people choose me twice, right? And you just tell me you're not going to give me a ticket to run on this party. That seems a bit now again, if I'm not a member in good standing for whatever reason, but the fact that I support another leader or yeah, we had a leadership race, and I thought John would have made a better leader than you. I support him. You can't be petty and holding this against me.
Why?
Not to say that no, because the fact that you lost, that you won, and my guy lost, of course, now, if I can't swear my allegiance, if I after you lost, if I still ain't feeling you and whatever, and I round you and trying to plot, that's a different story. But you, that's a part of the democratic process. And as a leader, you got to be strong enough. You can always have people vying for your seat. You're always gonna have some people who are gonna question some of your ability, but you need to be strong enough to withstand some of that. Like you can't really run from that competition now, and you might not make him your deputy. I don't want you right up under me, putting a knife in my back. But but if this man is earning his keep, the people like him down in Mark or wherever Central. But the FNM get cocky. I think Pindar them say, man, this is a safe FNM seat. We could run anybody in, right? And I don't like you. You piss us off. You run against me. I put my boy or whoever there. And I think that's a bit of abuse of power. Unless this man is has done things to fall outside of the bylaws or whatever of the Free National Movement. Not if his only sin is I support Menace more than I support you or in the delegations. That's victimization. I'm now afraid if you're gonna bring this pettiness into leading the country now. You vote for the PLP. You don't vote for me, right? Because the pettiness has no end, Like,
Yeah,
and it's the
and,
same,
and, and
same
that's
thing,
fine.
right?
But you
So
you really think, George, that there's a democratic process of selecting candidates? You really think they have a real democratic process? You think in the PLP under Penland, Christie, our Davis, they got a democratic process that says whoever the association of that constituency select, that's who we going with?
Well, let's put it like this. They Brave, I think, did it a lot of that when he came in last time. But I think the people who I think Brave said no to was the Shane and some of them who had lost their seat previously. He just say, like I said, these wasn't people who had won and sitting in the house, and right? Like these were people who lost. Some of them went out with bad reputation and what. And he's like, we ain't bringing you back. Right? He made Obi, God bless the dead, fight with. They'll give him a chance. Okay, you go on there, you win a fight square, a fair fight. You know, we ain't all anointing you. You go up and you run, you win, right? And then some of them you just basically tell no because we don't need this baggage with the party. But it wasn't none of that. I didn't see Brave do any of this because of no pettiness, like, oh, well, you run against me, or you support. I don't even know if any Brave was challenged really.
I,
But
I can guarantee you one thing: this coming election, plenty sitting MPs can be talking foolishness because that one in Naughty Lucia doesn't talk, but oh, he ain't gonna be running next time because he had to talk to his family and it was affecting his family and all kind of foolishness. All of them don't
some of them
mind the PLP coming with this funny talk, but oh, I can't do it because I got ulcers, I bucked my toe, all these other things. Brave then tell them. You know association tell them. Brave then
yeah.
tell them, big man, don't come back. Go into
But
the
he tell them
wilderness.
that. But why he tell them that? Because a lot of some of them do foolishness. Some of them know why they can't run no more, right?
But
Some of them
what Iram,
probably
remember now, Iram was there. They had the power situation here.
yeah.
It was basically a PLP production. They said it was under Grand Bahama Concerned Citizens, whatever it may be, but it was a PLP production.
I
And
thought it was a COI production.
no,
No.
no, that wasn't a COI. That
Oh,
was
okay.
and Iram gone out there and they asked like, well, who sent you out there? How you get out there? But Iram say this just for concerned citizen. I'm a concerned citizen. Shouldn't I care about the
Yeah.
power in the city? Well, and a matter of fact, why y'all leaving out here? We think, this a PLP thing. You know this a PLP thing. You ain't business out here. And they had one or two more things going at him, and he refused to listen. So they when big man, when I tell you don't do so and so, and you still want to do so and so, I gotta deal with you.
Why? Why? But see, that's why I can't join some of these things. Because, like
I,
you say,
I,
I'm a
I
big man.
yeah.
First and foremost, boy, yeah, like you say, I ain't no little boy. Like I ain't going out there. Like, I'm,
You can
yeah,
tell me where to
yeah,
go.
I'm a grandbaby first, but the thing is, these parties, like, now I got to question your loyalty. Why you don't want me to go
Thank
talk
you.
against these dudes,
Thank
right?
you.
But they might be some of the big sponsors for the F&M and fellas them saying, hey, control your boy. Like, why your boy out there, right?
Yeah.
So it gives bad optics. And I don't know if I think this could come back to bite Pintard, to be honest. Like, how he is managing these things right now, it giving off some little funny vibes. Like, you can totally trust him.
I wouldn't say the Iron one can get a bad vibe, but as we segue into this segment with Kalani, he say he ain't running Hubert
Minister.
Alexander Menace no more. Now, now we got some optics. Now we got some things going on.
I'm a former prime minister now.
We got all kind of things going on now. Former leader of the party, former prime minister, all these
That's a
things.
big deal.
Always when that seat locked that down, it is no reason other than pettiness. And I don't like you, and you trying to come for my things. That's why I ain't run you. And I totally understand with Michael Penton. I can't give him wrong for that. But boy, with a man with
Hello.
those type of credentials, but let's get real now. He will win the seat, Galani, as F&M. But Menace got to understand, he no more prime minister for you. For God's sake, leave that alone. He ain't gonna leave that alone. He ain't gonna go quietly into the sunset and call that a day. Penta tell them, okay, for an established man like Mr. Menace, what we would want him to do is start mentoring more um,
Uh,
new and upcoming members of the F&M who could be ready for those seats. And then you get people ready. That's a good thing, and we need this in the Marvel's mentorship. What wrong with that, George? I ain't see nothing wrong with that. What wrong with that?
And let's get on man to nobody. that's, that's you're selling someone a 6'9". That's foolishness. Men know that's foolishness. They talking like yeah, like you said, the problem been that I have with that is Menace. Although Menace disgusting and like you say, nobody want him to be prime minister no more. Um, what he should have done is run him because he's still very popular in the area. He's popular in Nassau. He born a lot of people's children, right? Like he didn't make the best prime minister, but Menace look cool. Menace look like he's go down, have he fish fry fish. 1+1 is 2 talk foolishness. He's a young canoe man. So I think on the street, Menace face still good on the street. Menace still got a lot of good friends, and he still has a lot of good support. And they just don't want him to be leader, and that's fine. And as a prime minister or prime minister to be, how you deal with that is you run him because you need to make up the seats. Um, you just don't put them in your cabinet. When it's time to pick your cabinet members or your government who get the whatever, you keep him on the back bench and you keep him out like that. But you don't just deny someone like that the seat and say, "Oh, you have to go retire," because like to see when they said that to Finland and all those people like, yeah, Finland been prime minister for 25 years. So when Christine, I'm telling me that just, I can't function with you in here, right? Like you too big, you're the rock star. Like Menace ain't a rock star. Menace sitting there, you ain't remember Menace is
Menace is a
right?
rock star in his own mind. He's a
No, but
legend in his own mind.
he ain't no Ingram and he ain't no Penland, right? So he ain't that much of a distraction as opposed to how those guys were. Like you like, okay, I can't fill these shoes, right? You actually Menace actually can make you look good. Cause you really
How?
gotta do bad.
How? Explain this to me. Let me hear this. This should be good. How
No,
Menace?
because listen, because as the prime minister, going behind Finland and going behind England, if you had them sitting there, like, okay, people looking, well, like, you might as well put them back in charge because England, they were very competent prime ministers. We ain't want ministers no more. So, I mean, you only can look better than ministers. You should look better than ministers as prime minister, even if with ministers sitting across next to you, because ministers was that bad. Ministers mess up a lot of bad things. I'm sorry, right? And so, but what I'm saying is not like having like you on the team, you having the superstar there, and people like, man, they still looking at him, the leader, for answers and stuff because people trust those people. So I can see you feeling an inferior complex in that, but I don't think Minutes had that type of control over younger members and other people, that reverence from young FNMs as FNMs have for Ingram and as people would have had for thing, or even Christie, right? Christie being there two years. Ingram had one term. Ingram never Menace never sorry, Menace had one term. Menace never became an iconic prime minister or big to the level of Christie, Ingram, or Finland.
The
So
the
I
people
I
in
don't see him being
Galani,
a threat.
the people in Galani say they love Menace. They don't want
Yeah.
nobody else. They can vote for Menace if Menace decide to go independent. That's who they want. Give us
Yep.
Menace or we ain't want nothing. Now, Menace now could go there and be a spoiler. Now, the PLP only had that seat in a long time. They could win that seat because if Menace go there, he can split the vote. He can mess
Yep.
up some things. So, and all, and Menace could be petty like that. He could come in there and just do something like that for no reason. Because
Of
he ain't gonna win it, and nobody want him. And now you can now disassociate yourself from the F and M because you can't run under their ticket, so you got to go independent unless you got COI. And if I COI, I want you. I didn't know you. You's a
Well,
troublemaker.
well, the problem Pentad face, and this is a real problem for him, is if he doesn't run the Ingram Menace, and if he doesn't run the Iron Lewis's, and the FLM go into this and get blown out again or just lose, not even blown out, but it's a good chance that unless Brave go to jail, like, yeah, he got something, his name might be called up and right. Well, if Brave beat,
We can get
if
to that later.
Brave beat yeah, Babe win again and roll out Pentad. I think Pentad career finished, right? Like and people that can come back. Ingham, I mean, minutes could actually rise again if after that in the FNM party.
Oh, no,
I
no,
think
no, 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 no.
I think Pintard will be the one who will be on the outside looking out, because people are not gonna blame him, and they're gonna look to things like that and pick on and say, listen, you split the party by taking out minutes. We lost that seat in Galani, which we could have win, right? Because it's gonna be those type of things, right? The PLP doesn't seem, and that's always bad when you have the opposition got more factions going on in the government, but who have all these people, right? Like, you don't hear too much noise making inside the PLP deal with these situations kind of
Yeah,
fast,
they got control
right?
and they got that whip on them.
Oh, yeah, Brad Mitchell them is reading them the riot act, and that's it, right? Like they got the party whips and whatnot, man, doing that. And so if Pindar run a messy election and the FNM go up and the COI them take a lot of votes, which they shouldn't never got before. I could see them not winning seats, but I could see them getting a lot more percent shares. That's going to be a bad thing for Pintard, and I think his political career probably finished. But I think, yeah, so it's a dangerous game I think he's playing. And I think he should be finding more ways now to try and unite the party, try to bring these, sit down these people, whatever you need to be singing. You already lost one member. You need to try and make some, at least keep Menace happy. I don't know what you promise him, but you have to get him happier than he is now, because you need his people on your side, because it seems I saw a former vice chairman and some other high-ranking FMM officials are very pissed off at this, right? And again, I go back to saying that Pindar from Freeport, those Nassau boys, they right. So
I,
it's not an easy.
I got one question for you, and Shannon Dawn Cartwright is not the answer. Who could be the next leader of the FNM? If things go like how you say, and the fractions cannot be mended in the FNM, and they go into the next election, all break up, you know,
Yeah.
Pentad gone. Who next in line?
Well, you don't say the man who next in line can't be next in line, because, I mean, it ain't quit. They only have a handful in there. They got about 6 people. They got Menace, they have Pentad, you have Shannon Dorr, you have Quasi, you have Adrian Gibson, can't run him, and then you have the other Gibson, Adrian White, right? So you got 6 of them. And so you have to literally choose, because no one really know who the other FNMs are at this point, because you have some of them who said you could go back and, like I said, Menace cabinet, you assume some of them going to run, but it wasn't really no superstars there. Ain't nobody you could really think of and say, boy, yeah, him. Although
So
he lost, right?
so why not just pull another Ingram? Grab someone from out the wilderness.
From where? But you don't have another Ingram to pull. Like, again, you got Hiram Lewis who leave this ground, right? Ingram was sharp. Ingram was a superstar. Ingram was a firecracker. You see them all. Ingram was a union. Ingram used to start. Ingram had his act together. You can't just pull anybody. And half of them really don't have no vocal person, no person out there like that, like an Ingram and Ingram came on the PLP where he was underpinning them and drain prop, right? So you don't have anyone with the accolades, with the
I
experience.
I don't think you need someone with all of that. I think you need a fresh look. I think you need someone who's appealing to the people, someone who can unite the party because he has no ties to north or south or east or west. Someone who can bring a new type of energy to that party because that party needs some energy now. Bad, 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 bad. And they
Mm.
cannot continue. I don't know if anybody inside the party could do it. I don't know. Like you said, they might have one no name person out there. But I know last time they had nobody there, so they had to go elsewhere. I'm
Yeah.
sure you try to tell me they come to you, George C. Missick. Hey, we little scrappy right now. Everybody like you. Come be our leader. You got I mean they ain't got one or two George C. Mystics out there who could come bring in the people who the people love, who the people want to say, okay, this one different. He ain't like the
Well,
rest of them.
if they had that type of person should have been easily identifiable, because, right? who else have you seen? Who else have you heard? If they're hiding under a bushel, you can't really say
Yeah,
them because
but
nobody
they
knows.
had little issues now. You remember now, after the election when the F&M just get destroyed, um, Menace still fighting for leadership. Pentard was the strongest one they had there at the time, in-house.
Mm-hmm.
The people that like him, he'll win Marco City, which is a very tough seat to win that hands down.
The
That
top seed to
F,
win.
huh?
How's the top seed to win for the F&M?
That's one seat would be in back and forth, back and forth. What other seat? What
That
seat?
was
What
easy.
other seat in
That was
Freeport?
easy for him to win because remember he was in Nassau. He come there. He come to Freeport to get one
Yeah,
easy seat.
but Marco City is the seat that could flip flop a lot of times. 8 Mile Rock, West End, that if you go historically, that's been a PLP seat. F&M had it with David and Pakisha one time, but that's basically a Tingham seat. Out east, that's
Right.
a F&M seat. Central is a F&M seat. So you have that seat there in Marco seat that been flip flopping from a long time. Because after Cecil gone, David
David Thompson.
Thompson had
David
it.
had it.
I think
Yeah.
Pleasant had it. Um, that been back and forth F&M PLP F&M PLP because that could go. I think that could go either way. So
Boy, only
so
boy. I know that ain't that hard.
I
It's
think
easy
that's
for
the
him to
most.
win that. And
That and Pine Ridge are the most difficult seats to win in Grand Bahama. So
wow.
that's why they had some talk say Pentad going over to Central Grand Bahama to go run, because he know that's an easier seat for him to win. He trying to he
Yeah.
want to be leader, but he have to realize you don't have to hold a seat to be leader of the party. Tommy then proved that.
Oh
So
no. That's an anomaly. You will need to have a seat to be
you
leader of that party.
should, but you don't have to.
Well, boy, we know you can't be prime minister and no have a seat. So that ain't gonna work.
Can you be prime minister if they make you senator?
No. You ain't know that for this one. The people. Somebody have to vote for you. People have to choose you. That would be unprecedented, and I don't think nobody can sign up for that. You need to pick someone who actually got elected. So, how the hell I can get to be in the house and appoint you to be prime minister? Outside,
Hey, I just throwing things out there. Let me see what stick.
boy. No.
Anyway, let's find out what's our question of the day, George.
Well, in other news tonight, it's been at least 4 months since the government sent a diplomatic note to the United States asking for clarity on the arrest of Bahamians, including 2 police officers and a Defense Force Marine, all named in a federal indictment alleging a massive cocaine transshipment operation. Responding to questions from the media, Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis said he believes those officers are entangled in a case of entrapment.
That whole operation is concerning to me because on the face of it, it appeared to be an entrapment of officers, and that is concerning. So I've not heard from them. So we are trying to we await the two officials, the police officer and the defense force officers, that made their appearances in court. I understand they're in discovery now, and we'll see what happens.
George, your boy say it's entrapment. They trap the fellas them. They ain't know what's going on. They write a letter. The U.S. them don't want to write them back. I know why they doing out behaving people like this for no reason. They only gone over there for vacation. They was in Miami, stop off at again, New York. They was a trap. Y'all telling them, Oh, you could bring some drugs over? Oh, yeah, I coming over. I was going to Sawgrass anyway. I could stop off to New York and do what I got to do and whatever in Miami, and I could drop that to you. They was entrapped. They didn't
Yeah.
mean to do that. They was just going to Sawgrass. George, question of the day. Today's question. What Brave's talking about? What yours lawyers? I can leave this in the legal hands now. They say it's entrapment. You the lawyer, you explain it to me because I a little slow. I don't do this professionally. I don't know nothing about the law. Explain this to me what Brave's talking about.
He basically saying the devil made me do it. Like you go over to visit a gal, and she come out in the sexiest outfit. You put on some Luther Vandross, and
Ooh.
hey, I got some wine out. Like she's setting the mood, all kind of foolishness. You just going out there to, you the insurance man. You just going to sell some insurance. You come out, you do all of this, you go home, tell your wife, miss, I going over there. I had all good intentions to
Oh
do
yeah.
this. This woman seduced me. So it's like
Uh-huh.
it's seduction. Right?
Mm.
So what the thing is, when you buy rat traps, generally because you got rat, you see some rat spouts, and if I put down a drop with some cheese, it's a good chance I get these rats, right? You don't go put them drops there if there ain't no signs and that. So I don't know if it's the best thing the prime minister could say because again, your officers supposed to be beyond reproach. Ain't nobody supposed to be able to entrap them, right?
Amen.
Like what do people say? If it was in you to begin with, what in you have to come out?
Yep.
And so, if you have these high-ranking officials, I mean, as a lawyer, right, I get calls a lot. Like, emails come through with some foolishness. Hey, person call you up on the phones, man. Hey, I trying to hide some money from you. I trying to see how I can stop paying tax. Like certain calls from the introduction, this either the police or there's someone trying to call me. Good. So,
You
I
know
mean,
it's a setup.
yeah. That's the thing. You either gotta be that greedy or you gotta be that stupid, right? Because when you're trying to draw people like that, they if you listen to some of those things, they literally just go and say, "Hey, why are you trying to do something crooked? You in?" and and so if you can't come back later and cry and say, "Oh, they make me do it," it ain't like this. They trick you and you didn't know what you was doing. This ain't a similar situation where they say, "Okay, we gonna pick up some corn and then turn out some bag of drugs." They telling you it's drugs.
Yep.
You gonna make some money. So again, you can't go to court talking, but I know the defense talking, but man, they make me do this. Things was tough and like I mean, you might mitigate, but that's not a defense because
But
you know right from wrong. Especially as law officers, you held at a higher standard. You have positions of trust and confidence, so you can't come with this entrapment. How can you entrap senior police officers, your commissioner of police or professional people? When people coming to you and telling you we about to do illegal activity, we want you to participate. We want you to turn the other eye, fly some drugs in, send your boys them down, come personally, come pick up this money we got for you.
but George, the scary part about this is Brave is a defense lawyer. Why you want put this seed in the people's head that this entrapment? How? Like you said, when you put down a rat trap, it's two to ones because you got rats. And
Yeah,
Brave know
yeah,
this and whatever, but they send a letter to the US saying, hey, we ain't had nothing what going on. Now, remember now, when this first happened, they get mad at the US, say the US ain't tell them nothing what they was doing
right,
because
right, right.
they know why. Y'all know why. Because the US think all of y'all dirty. They know who to trust. So guess what we can do? We ain't telling nobody what we ain't gonna do. We ain't gonna see who is who and what is what. And they keep talking about this MP who this minister who's a part of
Yeah,
this, who give all of these boys them the right to go down there and bring back their share. So who this member minister is and why they ain't want to talk business. That's what I would know. Brave need to go worry about that unless it's him, and I pray it ain't him. My God, you can't be
But
that fool as prime minister to get yourself mixed up
but
like that.
Carlo, with Google and Chat GPT, and it's so easy to find information, right? Like, why people think of all the time in the world now, which is now, where you have all this technology in 2 seconds, right? With the history, they know the history of the party, and they know the Commission of Inquiry and the Drugs and the PLP have a reputation out there, right? and, and so, like you say, how you get mad when the people don't call you? Right? When they done Google have gone and who they will be calling? They some gang, right? So I mean, whether good or bad, you might say it ain't me, I changed, we different, but you don't feel hurt and shocked because you gotta know who your power was. You come from, we have they assuming the worst, right? People
Yep,
got
yep,
it. And so don't feel as if, my God, I don't know why they would think something like this. Why?
yeah.
Well, we know why. 'Cause if they Google up and they can see the history of Nigel Bow and all this, right? That's ain't our first rodeo, right?
They do a chat
And so,
GPT on them. My Lord,
uh,
they do a
yeah,
chat
yeah, I
GPT on
mean,
them.
it's just easy to find out these information. So they know why you might be high risk. Like again, when we don't complete management and you group people depending on who your client is, and this person is a politician, they high risk automatically, right? Because politicians have they got a propensity, they got a reputation of being crooked. So not to say that we don't want bottom, but we got to watch you closely because
Yeah,
you're
yeah, yeah.
prone to, right? As a woman, you get your woman from a certain area or your
Oh yeah,
man,
oh
uh,
yeah.
right? They high risk. You
Hmm.
rank them differently, and so they know what time it is. People didn't call you because they didn't trust you. It's pure and simple. You know way to feel. You don't need to feel broken up and what. And it's a good reason why you don't trust you.
Boy, they were so hurt. How they could do that?
Yeah, that's fake hurt. That's fake hurt. That's right. That's no genuine hurt. You know why?
Oh Lord. See, that's why me and Brave is can't get along, because me Brave is do some things. Brave always think he's slick, man. This my problem with Brave. Stop trying to be slick with everything, man. You know why they won't bother with you, man. Stop that. Anyway,
But
Joe.
if you already start out by saying let the chips fall as they may, how you get now to well I like all this
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, no.
Uh-uh.
Boy.
Uh,
Yeah,
uh, uh,
but
uh,
yeah, that's like you get cheating and think I'm over. You mad because how you get my phone?
yeah. Why you on my phone? They trying to change the narrative completely. Oh no, 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 don't do
Hey,
those type of things.
hey. Yeah, what kind of person are you?
Oh, I thought I knew you. Oh my goodness. Oh. Anyway, let's do our bogey of the day, George. I got two bogeys of the day, George. And me and Tasman was talking about this, and I just I tired of this right now. I tired.
Ah,
Anthony Edwards and his new baby mother. I don't know what's
oh
going
Lord.
on with this. But anyway, they go on the court. He tell the guy I didn't want the baby. Still gone. I don't know how you don't want no more children, or you don't want no children by her, and you ain't put on no protection. I don't understand that. And that's why he is my first bongi of the day. Second bongi of the day is this gal who this mind you, she's an old gal. So this way I give her wrong. She's an old gal. She going there to play this game, and
Mm.
now Andy Edwards said, "Guess what? How much it is up front? Let me deal with this right up here, right now, because she ain't come back no 5 years later talking about the economy change and $10,000 a week to bring up a child just can't do it no more. I need more than this. He really jumps like I say. I was like, oh boy, that's That's almost genius. That's criminal what he trying to do there. But I know he can get away with it. But the mere fact that she trying to play this game in her old age, messing with this young boy. Now you will get mad because the young boy acting like a young boy, and I'm sorry, that's how young boys is do it. These two idiots out in front line getting on people's nerves because none of them can control themselves. None of them got the common sense to sit up and say, hold on, what about the child? Because ain't nobody care about the child. The hell with the child. They worry he won't pay one time and she won't get paid. That's all they care about. This is why we got so much unsuitable parents and we got so much disturbed children out in the world. And I don't like these people because my daughter got to mix with these people now. With them and their children. They crazy children who got all
Yep.
kinds of issues. And I thinking I ain't gonna spend money, put them in private school, but the people who got money, that's the side I gotta worry about. They putting them in private school too, so I can't even duck them because
No.
everybody got issues, and I mind you got issues. You know, you got a little tax problem. You know, your third toe on your foot, little crooked. Everybody got little issues. But when you growing up a child under this thing, the man say he don't want nothing to do with the child. Good God. You can imagine now, you 10 years old. 10 years from now, they play this back. And you hear
Mm-hmm.
your daddy say, I don't want nothing to do with you. I don't want to see how the child look. I don't want nothing. And these children who look just like you. Be the spitting image of you. You can't even say that in your dad.
That's why you don't want nothing to do with it. You don't want to get to know him. You don't want to get the bond or right. Right now, the dude is a stranger to him. That's your child, but I don't know you.
George, that's you looking at. You ain't gotta call Grammy for this one. You know some of these you gotta call Grammy for because you ain't know. When you do things like this, to God, boy, God is a serious God. God has made that child look just like you or your sister or someone you're like, hold on, that's that boy, Daddy Dee boy, that girl look just like Dee. Oh, Carlo, you sure, boy? That girl look just like Karen. That girl, that's the same spitting image. You can't put these children through these things. When you want to argue about the child, you go in your little room, you argue. Don't let the children hear you arguing because now they can think there's issues. 10 years from now, to hear my daddy say he ain't want me, well, what the say? And my daddy rich, my daddy talented, my daddy lined up now to be the next NBA face. And
No,
then to
no,
find out, mommy only do it for a come up.
no, it can't be him. Why it will not be him anytime soon because we nowadays you already had LeBron and Steph and right like these family fellas these nice and be comfortable right now with these type of dudes. The Anthony Edwards, although he had no gun, he remind me like he gave off this John Morant type vibe. These reckless like
But George,
you,
they
you
young.
just you can't put your house money on them. There's too much foolishness,
Yeah,
too much
but they
ego,
young.
too yeah. But I mean they had the role models in terms of who made the most money and success, Steph and LeBron dominating. And why they doing how they did that was being marketable, being even keel, being able to be marketed to the masses, the white, the blacks, right? Because they save. They don't do all this extra foolishness, right?
Yeah, but
Uh,
you miss it. You missing it because Steph, Daddy was an NBA player, so he could have guided him
mhm.
with a lot of things. LeBron, they had LeBron locked for the face of the NBA from he was in grade 9. So they
Yep.
was working with him and they was dealing with him. I know LeBron them do some foolishness, You can't tell me LeBron them ain't do no foolishness. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
when they had him from young, they didn't make up in their mind. Buddy, I don't care how much money it takes. This fella gonna be the next NBA face, and we can
But
ride this till the wheel fall off.
Magalo, I don't even think it worked. I don't think it even happened like that because remember, LeBron was LeBron became the face, or they said that because of what they saw with LeBron. They saw the talent, but LeBron still came from the single mother. The mommy really wasn't nobody, and yeah, they don't know who your pa is, right? Like yeah, like it's just phenomenal to have a child like this who come from nothing, who get this money thrown on him, who everyone loosening big enough, and you don't go crazy, you don't wild out, you don't. And like you said, I'm sure LeBron got all kind of story, because we just know, right? But he, like he said, he always had that respect for the game, and for some reason he got his head on his head to say that, listen, um, I can't make the money. I can't be the commercial brand that I want to be. Being holly gully like this, like running with this, populating, having all these children like Dwight Howard and all them all about the place, like just reckless abandon. He like, okay, I'm gonna be the head. Like, let me put on this. Comes great responsibility. Comes with
Yeah.
this title. And so he did his thing. Again, I always laugh at Kobe. Kobe could learn how to cheat properly. He had all kind of guts. He going out on a frolic of his own, going find this trailer, gal, get
I
make
don't know where you
salary.
find that gal from.
Yeah. So NBA got system. You can learn how to be. I mean, if I was any of them talking about being the face, LeBron's still playing. You got the man still there. Like I can't wait to read a book with LeBron. I would like to pick LeBron brain. Like, you dude, we need to hang out. You need to show me how the last 24 years doing
But
like this. Because if you look at him on paper, the man got it all. Like you like somebody will say like Kevin Durant, he never get married, whatever. But Kevin Durant isn't as successful as LeBron, who got all the children and who got all like, how do you balance all these things, dude?
but
And
but if you notice now, and I don't want to bring this up, God rest bless the dead. Kobe, when he get caught up in that scandal, after that, the NBA grabbed him because I don't know, they must he saw something that nobody else saw,
uh,
and it's like everything disappeared, everything vanished.
oh yeah, no, Kobe had the best PR.
Yes,
Kobe had this thing of like the Men in Black, like they don't even talk about Kobe now. Like
no,
Kobe, yeah,
Kobe is heaven sent. He's the best Laker ever. I don't know how you get the best Laker ever, but he's the best Laker ever. He done do all these things. Nobody can
the dude
replace
turned
him.
around. Kobe turned likable even in his lot of years. Kobe
Yes,
teaching a little bit
and
open
mind you,
basketball.
I was so proud of him to see him. When he was children, he little girls them and things like that.
Yeah.
And it break my heart how he died, and even with his daughter and everything, because he was that much into that, and
Yeah.
that really solidified him. You don't forget, but that thing what happened
Yeah,
back
yeah,
then.
yeah, 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 yeah.
So if
He's a
the
good success
NBA
story
really
of
wants to
redemption.
do it, they could fix Anthony Edwards if they really
Man,
want to do
Carlo, you have to want to be like again, those dudes, they just come in with a sense of arrogance and entitlement, and the world is like they say you ain't do nothing yet, and you
it. He ain't
can't
doing
all
nothing.
like you, right? Like so, it's still I don't know. Him in particular, there's a I don't mind confidence, but when you get that cocky and that arrogant that quickly, and again, you haven't won anything yet. You haven't done it. You haven't earned this arrogance. Yeah, you make some nice plays and whatever. You won nothing. You haven't got even to the finals yet, right? You This year ain't looking good either, right? Like they got one up on the Lakers, but we gonna fix that.
Boy, we gonna have to
But
talk with that next week because boy, I think we got more to talk about. I
like,
know you want to
looking
I know you want to bring that up.
I looking at the TV right now, and I looking at this boy, Shea Gildress, right? Because they were talking about for several years they were talking about Shea Gildress, and I think John Moran, and then just start acting fools. So I think they substitute Anthony Edwards in there, right? Right, but Shea Gildress again, Alexander, this dude just all he do is come out and play basketball and
Yeah,
hoop,
but he's another
and
Tim Duncan though. He ain't got no
well,
personality. Yeah.
hey, but
The only
but
thing
again,
he winning.
he winning, right? And he confident. He got a little bit more personality than them Duncan.
Yeah, a rock on the
Yeah,
road got more personality
yeah,
than
yeah.
Tim
I hear
Duncan.
him say some cocky things himself, but he got a different. He just more serious than right. Like, but what I'm saying is he focused on winning, and I'm sure he's young. I'm sure he having his fun, but these fellas just reckless. Like it still should be all about winning first. When you're at that level and you want to be great, you gotta stack up the win. You gotta show that you could win to back up this you can't just be, oh, I score 50.60, I whatever, and be content with that. None of Kobe them was LeBron them was content with that. It was always but winning championships. And until they develop that mindset, all this reckless behavior, those things can destroy your rep. All the money and different things you see, you can lose a lot of endorsements and different things overnight.
Yeah, but
Um,
George, these fellas' contract is $200 million from the break. The NBA is
that ain't nothing.
ridiculous right now. These fellas
That ain't
getting paid too
nothing.
much money.
I agree. But we see some of them, just how they get paid them, we see some of those can lose a lot of that money fast and overnight and get blacklisted. Even Kyrie, you see what they do to Kyrie, Kyrie Irving when Kyrie trying to rehabilitate himself. Like, so this money can be, especially white America, they can humble you fast. Don't take it for granted that you cross the wrong person, you say the wrong thing, mess with the wrong person, you could be out on the street um, over like that. So someone need to pull him in. If
Yeah.
they listen, and like I said, Ja look like he actually finished a whole season this year. That's good. You need to stay away from guns. Stop playing with guns. But you just don't want to see all this talent go to waste. And again, these young boys like Jalen Green, fooling around these 30, 40 year olds,
What
like,
come on, man. Young men, I can talk to y'all now. Young men, for God's sake, do the right thing. I know right now y'all young and y'all got to don't have no babies. Protect yourself at all costs. Wait till
yeah,
you get married. Then go have your children. You don't need 30, 40 children out there to prove you is man. We didn't know y'all NBA players. Y'all get the girls come out there waiting on y'all. Y'all ain't got
yep,
nothing to prove. Don't hurt your head. And even men who out there working, y'all who got your good little job, don't go bigging up these girls left, right, and center because you want to prove you is mine. You was more mine to prove if you could withstand from those things having 30, 40 children. That ain't a good look. And it can
just
weigh down.
reckless and it's more than not just a good luck, but you just messing, you just destroying so much lives. Like you just
Exactly.
putting a lot of kids out there in this world by themselves, and this world ain't no place to be by
No,
yourself.
no,
You
sir.
need those support.
Exactly. Anyway, George, I think we done run over our long time.
Oh yeah,
That,
I'm looking at the time.
that's what
Boy,
has
the game
happened.
wasn't much of a game. Like Memphis getting one got up on them. Jesus,
Oh, what's the difference? That's what happened
boy,
last time.
huh?
Memphis. Anyway, I'd like to thank everybody for watching what's going on. We have our list of shows that come on through the week. Monday is Sword Sharpeners, your religious show. On Tuesday, we have Let's Talk, your relationship show. Join us at 8 p.m. on What's Going On Tuesday, where we talk about everything from religion to politics to what's going on in news, sports, everything. Join tomorrow off the bench where they talk about local and international sports. Thursday we have Islandish where we have interviews for local persons who got things going on through the country. So join us every week at Superior Talk. Remember to subscribe and like. We can't do this without y'all. If you want to support the show, you can drop us a call, drop us an email, 727-1486. If you want to support the show, you want to do a commercial or anything like that, come on down. And I think that's about it. I want to thank y'all, and we'll see y'all next week when we tell y'all what's going on.